And this is Uncut News. According to JAGDEO, the recently terminated agreement with Taiwan was never approved by the cabinet, and he went further to say it should have never taken place. But despite the international media attention and the almost immediate reaction from China, Jaggy Boy claims that the issue still needs to be discussed by the cabinet, because it hasn't been discussed as yet. But seeing as he claims that cabinet never approved the major foreign policy shift, it is unclear who provided the all-clear for the foreign minister to move ahead with the agreement. It is also unclear why the government kept it a secret for almost a month. But if you ask me, they are passe. I suspect they think we would have been too stupid to understand the implications of the move and hope the media wouldn't follow up even after the move was reversed. The government will be pouring more money into the GDF from now on in order to increase border security. Today, the president told the GDF that they will soon be acquiring equipment, aircraft, and marine vessels to support the force. In addition to this, Brigadier Bess said a new helicopter was recently acquired, while the force's Beechcraft and a Cessna 441 is being rehabilitated. Also, that Cessna 172 that was recently seized in the hinterland last year has since been declared a state asset and was handed over to the GDF. The National Defense Policy will also be amended to place special focus on improving housing, healthcare, and special recruitment benefits, all in the idea and in the hopes of improving the force overall. Proving again just how useless they are as an opposition party, Flap New KFC decided to protest Parliament again. You know, instead of just sitting there and debating the matters at hand like a proper opposition party is supposed to do. Anyway, they were in effect sitting out the debate on amendments to the Law Reform Commission Act, an act that was passed in 2016 by the then coalition government. As the presenter of the bill, Nandala said it is important for persons other than those in the legal profession to be a part of the commission. The major amendment to the Law Reform Commission Act is now that it allows persons other than those legally trained to form the commission. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2018 Suzuki Swift RS Sports Edition. It comes with Bluetooth, CD, stereo, steering controls, crystal lights, mag rims, fog lamps, and much more. Pay cash for $3.6 million, or pay down as low as $720,000 with around $70,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rowe Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Rico sent you for this sweet deal. Today, the man accused of the brutal rape and murder of 13-year-old LEONARD Archibald in 2017 was finally slapped with a life sentence for the sick crime. 31-year-old Hilary Edwards of East Bank, BERBICE, maintained he was innocent despite having previously confessed to the act and had even led investigators to the scene of the crime. Edwards will not be eligible for parole until after serving 27 years in prison, and he was ordered to receive counseling 4 times annually during the period of his incarceration. July last, 50-year-old Beverly Patricia Gomes of Nurney Village, East BERBICE Quarantine, was charged with abducting a baby girl. Well, yesterday the court finally dismissed the charges against her after ruling that the prosecution failed to prove its case against Gomes. On July 3, 2020, Gomes was contacted by the police after she was found with a baby girl that was reported missing by her mother in March of that year. Gomes had told investigators that the baby's mother was a Venezuelan woman who asked her to take the baby to the GPHC for medical treatment. At the time, both women were employed as cooks at Quartzstone Bakdam in Cuyuni, and the mother would usually leave the child in Gomes' care. But since the woman never showed up on the agreed-upon time and never answered the calls to her phone, Gomes took the baby home to BERBICE with her to take care of her. The baby has since been returned to her mother. Thoroughly tired of hearing about the failures coming out of the scandal of bonds we call a justice system, the US government has pledged over $400,000 to develop an automated court case management system. The embassy said that the new case management system will help to ensure criminal cases are handled quickly, to reduce the case backlog, and increase public trust and confidence in the justice system. But I think it'll take more than software to do that. Anyway, the upgrade is expected to take 17 months. Now let's just see how the injustice system will corrupt this program. This morning, a pharmacist at the GPHC became the first person in the nation to be vaccinated against the RONA. She received one of the 1,500 doses donated from Barbados yesterday. The nation is to receive more than 100,000 doses of the vaccines through the COVAX initiative, with additional vaccines from India through a CARICOM African Union partnership. Seeing as the government is aiming for herd immunity, they are hoping to vaccinate at least 80% of the population. Speaking of the RONA, it's now time for today's RONA report. Today, the nation recorded 43 new cases. There are now a total of 184 persons who have died. There are 7 persons in the ICU and 768 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the country now stands at 8,135. So please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth, and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds. And remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. 2 men and a woman survived on a diet of coconut, conches, and rats for more than a month after they were cast away on a deserted island between Florida and Cuba. U.S. Coast Guard officials said the trio from Cuba told them their boat had capsized in rough waters and they were able to swim to Anguilla Cay, where they spent 33 days before they were spotted and rescued. Immigration officials did not immediately say whether they would be deported or not, nor was it clear whether this group was attempting to come to the U.S. or if they were just lost at sea. As U.S. Coast Guard officials said, they were only focused on rescuing them. JUDICIAL is celebrating their 14th anniversary this month, which means they are shaving off prices. Get the DL3 smartphone for just $14,000, or the DL3 Pro for $17,500, plus get a 30-day JUDICIAL Prime bundle when you buy any LTE handset. Offer available at Cellular Plus JUDICIAL stores in the City Mall, Starbucks Square, Massey Providence, and Massey Turkine. Don't miss out! The Bahamas National Trust said it is happy that the Bahamas Petroleum Company was able to cease drilling activities following news that there are no commercial volumes of oil in the area. Yes, you heard right, they're actually happy they didn't find oil. The BNT said this development should be a turning point that will encourage the Bahamas to focus on a future that embraces sustainability and clean and renewable energy. And also because, come on, it's the Bahamas. If the oil spills there, boom, there goes tourism. There's nothing. And now for our weird news story of the day. When 70-year-old Frank Rothwell decided to row solo across the Atlantic, he didn't realize just how boring it would have been spending nearly 2 months on the 3,000-mile journey. The Talisker Whiskey Atlantic Challenge, an annual race from the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa to Antigua in the Caribbean, is not for the faint-hearted. But Rothwell, an experienced sailor, took up the challenge to raise money for charity. After 56 days, 2 hours and 41 minutes, Rothwell arrived at Antigua's English harbour to place 4th out of 8th in his category, and also become the oldest man to row solo across the Atlantic Ocean. The grandfather of 3 had set up a Just Giving page for Alzheimer's Research UK, which has received $1.2 million and growing. Boy, don't you wish your grandfather was that fit. How's this for a bedtime story? Stupidity Bill spends thousands of dollars on new printer ink. Senti Bill, on the other hand, refills his empty cartridges at Print for Less for just $1,000. He gets a 6-month, 100% money-back guarantee on every refill. Then the bucket band and the story ends. Call the WhatsApp 667-0066 or visit them on Facebook at Print for Less Guyana. Don't be a Stupidity Bill. Moving on to our Uncut News viewers poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, would you take the RONA vaccine now that it's here? Sharon Davis said, I'm prepared to take the vaccine. I'd rather be safe than sorry. My man loves me says, I refuse to take any vaccine, but I will take this vaccine if I can personally see the President and Prime Minister and judges, lawyers and other politicians get a dose of it. Oh, I like that word, politicians. I might start using that one, thanks. And finally, Nicholas Basdio said, of course I would take the vaccine. I'm still paranoid until now. And in my job, there are persons who don't wear the face mask when I'm around, so I would take the vaccine to protect myself from others. And on the bright side, I could finally hustle a gal without worrying if she has the RONA. Ha ha! That's a good point, Nick. That's a good point. Good answers, people. Before we get to tonight's question, these online shopping places take them eyes and pass people a set of money they want per pound of merchandise. You will die when you try to ship parts for your truck. Thankfully, truck parts are already in Guyana at Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts at Lot 1161 EE Eccles. They stock spares for DAF, Bedford TM, International Freight Liners, and Cummins engines. Call or WhatsApp 697-0171 or follow Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts on Facebook. So, for tonight's question, no matter who's in power, the opposition basically represents half of the nation. Seeing as they are supposed to represent the interests of so many citizens, should parliamentarians be allowed to skip parliament? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in Friday's episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks. Hey Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.